What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're doing a Raw recap. We started right off with Stephanie McMahon in the ring. She's immediately interrupted by Becky Lynch coming out. When she gets in the ring, just in case you forgot, we have a recap of what happened last week when she got into Ronda Rousey's face. And then we recap Becky Lynch's knee injury at the Royal Rumble. Stephanie comments on Becky Lynch's knee. Becky Lynch replies with no doctor is going to come near her. Stephanie McMahon says that she can't compete unless a doctor looks at her, and if she doesn't, she will be suspended. Becky Lynch says no, so Stephanie McMahon suspends her. Lynch then attacks Stephanie McMahon. A bunch of officials come out, they get beat down as well. After all this, when we come back to a commercial, Becky Lynch is confronted by Ronda Rousey, who runs her down. Yeah, okay. Wonderful opening segment for Raw. So then we come to our first match, Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan. Right as soon as the bell rings, Liv Morgan bails out of the ring twice. Once Ronda Rousey gets her hand on her, that's pretty much it. It's over. She hits the armbar, and Morgan taps out. After the match, Ronda Rousey challenges Sarah Logan. She gets in the ring. So that's our next match. It's pretty much a cookie cutter of the first match, except Sarah Logan lasted a little bit longer, but she ended up tapping out to the armbar. After the match, Ruby Riott gets up onto the apron, but it's stared down by Ronda Rousey. In a backstage interview, Ruby Riott says that the team of the Riott Squad is better than Ronda Rousey, and then continues to run down Rousey as well. Then we have a 4-team tag team match. I think this is to determine the number one contender for the Raw tag team titles. We have Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, the B-Team, and the Revival. This is an okay match. Most matches like this are rather chaotic, so it's kind of hard to really keep up with everything. The Revival hit the Shatter Machine on Bo Dallas to win. And as happy as I am to see the Revival win this, we've just jobbed out Heavy Machinery into obscurity. And pretty much this was the high point of tonight's Raw, and I hope you held on tight because we've gone downhill from here. Kurt Angle comes out. He talks about his career. He says that he can't beat Father Time. Then Baron Corbin comes out. He runs his mouth for a little bit. Kurt Angle challenges to a match, and Drew McIntyre comes out to waste more time. They walk down to the ring, and then Braun Strowman comes out and evens up the score. It's then said later on tonight that we're going to have a tag team match, Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre versus Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman. I believe I called this one last week. What I was getting at from earlier is we're probably going to get next week Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre. So stay tuned next week. Hopefully I'll be right again. Told you. Then we have Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross. This is a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. Before the match, Fox and Cross beat down Bayley and Banks up on the ramp. Once everyone gets into the ring, this is pretty much a predictable match. Bayley gets the pin on Alicia Fox, so they move forward. And on a bit of a side note, can we at least have one night, if not at least one match, without having Corey Graves and Renee Young bickering at each other? Jesus Christ, would y'all shut the fuck up? Then we have Jeff Jarrett versus Elias with the Road Dogg at ringside. This is an M match. Elias got the pin. After the match, the Road Dogg attacks Elias, and Jeff Jarrett hits him in the back with a guitar. Okay, can we go on with this? Then we have Finn Balor versus Lio Rush. This was supposed to be against Bobby Lashley, but I guess we switched it up at the very last minute. Before the bell, Bobby Lashley attacks Finn Balor. Once the match starts, it was okay. There was a decent bit of back and forth. Bobby Lashley got involved a little bit. The ref threw him out of ringside. Once we got back into action, Finn Balor started firing back. He ended up hitting the coup de grace and got the pin. So maybe we'll be seeing Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. Really wouldn't hold my breath, but let's hope. Then we got Paige coming out, shilling her new movie, Fighting With My Family. We see a trailer for that. I will be doing a review on that when the movie comes out. And here we go again. Another moment of sleep with Alexa Bliss. Bruh. She introduces EC3 as her guest. Before all that gets started, Nia Jax comes out, interrupts everything. She runs her mouth a whole bunch. Dean Ambrose comes out to interrupt. Apparently, according to Dean Ambrose, Nia Jax has a crush on him. He then begins to grill EC3 on who he is. This all culminates into EC3 punching him out and walking down the ramp to the ring. So this is our next match, EC3 versus Dean Ambrose. This was a decent match through the dregs of what was happening throughout the second half. It was a good showing by EC3. He got a roll up on Dean Ambrose for the pin. It was a good showing for EC3. Hopefully we'll see a lot better matches from him in the future. We then come to our main event, Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman. This is an match. Kurt Angle gets worked over by McIntyre and Corbin. We get a shit ton of rest holds from Corbin. Shocker. Kurt Angle gets a tag in to Strowman. He cleans house. Once Angle gets tagged back in, he starts to work over everybody else. Braun Strowman, who's not the legal man, hits Baron Corbin and gets the team disqualified. That's kind of weird. What? I think this is the first time I've ever seen that happen and a disqualification is thrown. Okay, whatever. After the match, Corbin and McIntyre beat down on Angle, but Braun Strowman comes back, beats everyone else down, and Angle and Strowman stand tall to end tonight's Raw. It kind of started off rocky, got a little bit better, then pretty much the next half just straight went downhill and sucked. The best match of the night, albeit was a quick one, was EC3 versus Dean Ambrose. Everything else can pretty much just be put to the waste. Heavy Machinery's jobbed out. We probably won't see them again for another couple of months. They've hit the same level of sanity, I guess. The 2 Ronda Rousey matches were cookie cutter matches. We all knew Bayley and Sasha Banks were going to be going to Elimination Chamber. But as I always say, hopefully SmackDown will be better. But I'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw or what you thought of this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.